Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I am so glad to see you today, but I'm going to be honest, we do not have a minyan today. So, oh yeah, we do have a minyan. Hey Max, I'm too loud. Can you make me less loud? Check my sound. I actually do have a minyan today, so we will do a whole service. We're just going to do a cute service because we do have a minyan. I always carry my minyan with me. It is true. So there are so many things that are happening this week that are part of our heritage, part of our national heritage, part of our Jewish heritage, part of our seasonal heritage, that I'm going to try to acknowledge them all at some point during the service, and we'll see what we could do. But what I also want to do today is, wait, you'll know. If we start like this, then you'll have a clue where we're going, because almost every time I start like this, you'll know. Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum, chiri biri biri bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum. Shabbat Shalom. Well, you gotta clap for me. During the week, you clap like this. But on Shabbat, think of another way to clap. So I was taught you could clap like hands not together like this. Just don't clap like this, like hit the person next to you. Don't do that. That's not a good Shabbat way to clap. But find another way to do it. I know some people who like to do kind of clapping. No. But something like this so that you're clapping not like this. You can make another kind of a sound. Make a joyful noise. All right, we're going to start again. Bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum, chiri, biri, biri, bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum. Here it comes, get ready for clapping. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. High part. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim, bum. Bim bum bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum. Faster. Bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh bim bum biddy biddy bum biddy bim bum shh. Because it's fun to say bim bum. It makes your lips tickle. Bim bum. But if you say it really fast, biddy 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 bum, it feels good. So now that we are ready for Shabbat to begin, even though the sun is not very close to going down yet, we're going to take a deep breath and try to get our shoulders to relax. Let it out slowly. Oh, that wasn't slow enough. Try again. Keep breathing and maybe you'll cool things down a little bit. We are in Mishkan Tefillah. We are, as you know, we start with service 1 for Friday night, and then we end with service 2 for Friday night. We begin on page 120. If you're using the Shabbat only book, please look at the blue numbers. If you're using the big book or the flip book online, please use the blue numbers. And we're on page 120. Please rise if it's not uncomfortable for you to stand. We say it first in English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Brachi b'shamoy, brachi b'shamoy, brachi b'shamoy. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. You may be seated. Please make sure you say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with, someone you didn't come in with. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. So I know that Father's Day is this weekend, and we're supposed to think about fathers too. This moment is kind of a women. I remember the women in my family do it. Do you remember your mother doing it? Do you remember your grandmother doing it? Do you remember? Some of you don't. You don't have that memory. But it makes me think of that song. You know the song, I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing, the one that goes, Grandma's hands, do-do-do-do-do-do. You know that one? Grandma's hands? It's a beautiful song because I remember my grandma's hands doing this. I remember my great-grandma's hands doing this. And my mom's hands, me and my sister, and there's something really wonderful about that. I just love that we have memories of those things and that we tie them together and bring it with us. We also have memories of welcoming Shabbat, not just for those around us, but we welcome angels too. Do you remember when angels visited you? There's this great story that says that every Shabbat, angels come and peek into your window. And if they see you celebrating Shabbat and doing wonderful things with your family, then you can have the same Shabbat again next week. So we turn to page 142 and we sing whatever melody of Shalom Aleichem Adam will lead us in.
We said you wanted the one that we know.
The traditional one, the one we know.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei HaSharet Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bolechem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue on page 144 with the Reader's Kaddish, also known as the Chatzi Kaddish, because it's only half a Kaddish. Chatzi means half. Yitkadal v'yitkadash merabah v'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayed chol Beit Yisrael Ba'al
בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמרה במברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמך דקודשה
בריחו
לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
And in case you haven't noticed, we're doing a singing service, so we jump all the way to page 153, and we see the magnificent page 153, and we listen. Listening. There it goes.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hashem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated unless your bar bat mitzvah is sometime in the next year, and then I need your help. But everyone else is turning to page 154 as we get ready to chant a selection from one of the few things that I can tell you, the chapter and verse of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 5. We just finished verse 4, so now we go all the way to verse 5 and following. Find a way to have this by your mouth and do that. Thank you. Go ahead.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Emet. I was trying to find something down here and it's not there. Right. Yes. We are going to continue on page 158. Adam's going to start this one for us. Whatever melody he wants. Wonder which one he'll pick. Our favorite one.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh pele.
going to continue at the bottom of 162, but I'm going to need your help on this one. If you brought your laps. Yismechu v'malechutecha shomerei 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 Shabbat korei oneg Shabbat Mekadeshei Mekadeshei Shvi Shabbat Kulam yisbeu v'yitangu mituvecha Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shomerei 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 Shabbat korei oneg Shabbat v'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat Chamdat Yamim Oto karata Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha shomerei 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 Shabbat korei oneg Shabbat Zecher למעשה וראשית שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת קורא עונג שבת. We continue on page 273, and if it's comfortable for you to rise, please rise for the tefillah, also known as the Amidah, the standing prayer. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. I'm going to let you sit down, and I'm going to tell you that that prayer is called that specific prayer. Do you know what it was called? The Avot, which means, it used to mean the father, it used to mean the ancestors, then they turned it into just the fathers because they added the mothers. But I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day too. Especially the fathers. That was a song that we sing for Father's Day. And we jump all the way to singing another song. The one that I want to do next is the one on page 282 as we sing about peace.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim L'olam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim L'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon l'kol hashalom. Ki ata hu השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We take a moment of silent prayer. You can sing or say your prayer. You can read what's on the pages that follow, or whatever is in your heart. Meet you again on page 285. Shalom bimrumav, uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Israel עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם ואמרו At this time in our service, our hearts and our prayers turn to those who are ill, recuperating, dealing with the consequences of illness and war, and coping with natural disasters or the recent death of loved ones. We turn to page 371, but I also give you an opportunity to say out loud or in your hearts or in the chat names of people for whom you would like us to be praying. For all these, for the names we choose to hold in our hearts and not say out loud, we sing together in the middle of page 371. Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Fathers and mothers, may the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Something I'm going to read and not sing is the blessing that we've added on behalf of our military and police and firefighters, EMTs, doctors, nurses, and veterans. Misha berach avotenu ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we've entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom, protecting us, or healing us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they've been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely. And let us say, Amen. I'm going to take this off for a second. We have a couple more things to sing. Okay, so I'm going to try to see if I could do these in chronological order. See if you can guess which of the immediate holidays I am referencing. I may not sing a whole version of the songs, but see if you can get this. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. Listen with your eyes, and sing everything you see. You can sing a rainbow, sing along with me. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. It's Pride Month, and the symbol of pride is a rainbow. And, it's not just Pride Month. Let's try this one. This week, we have begun commemorating Juneteenth. Does anyone remember commemorating Juneteenth before? Do you remember that? So there's something about Juneteenth and Pride Month coming together that has been stressful to me. And I say stressful because there are sometimes, I've been hearing these comments that talk about, why are we talking about things that have nothing to do with us? And that has stressed me a lot, because I like saying that I'm Jewish. I like it a lot. I don't say it all the time, but I do like saying I'm Jewish. I like being proud of being Jewish. I am never happy. I am more stressed when I am in situations when I feel I can't be myself. And I don't know why it stresses us, especially as Jews who've been through this, to be able to support people who want to say, this is who I am, and I'm very proud of who I am. If possible, could you love me for who I am? And I would love us to be able to say, yes. I would love us to be able to say, we know what it's like for people to not understand us. When it comes to Juneteenth, it is a commemoration of the Day of Emancipation from Slavery, and we do that every year. We do a celebration of the emancipation from slavery. It's one of our most important holidays. In fact, the African American slaves in America used the Jewish experience as their model for hope. And many of the songs that we sing now that they wrote come from their taking our holidays and turning it into their own. And so I love that, how interconnected we are. All right, so let's see. We've got another holiday. Wait, a few days ago, this one. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag, not much. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. And then we did our Father's Day thing where we sang a song about our ancestors. And then, all right, I think I may save this for a little bit later. You'll see how I will tie in almost everything at the end of the service with the holiday that's coming up this week. You know what's coming up this week? It's not a Jewish holiday. What is it? Juneteenth is coming up Sunday. We sang a little bit. We're going to, what? We're going to sing something that's going to tie in Juneteenth and what starts this week and being proud about being Jewish, all of those things together. I have a few announcements I would like to make. First of all, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you for being here. There will not, contrary to what we said in the email that I just sent out, due to technical difficulties beyond my control, which is hard to admit, we will not have a Zoom Onik Shabbat tonight. I do believe that we should be able to resolve all of this so that you could join us tomorrow on our Zoom service. We have Torah study, which is, I think, the best kept secret in Shreveport. I love our Torah studies together. As I've said before, we have people at least from 7 states coming, and I hope they're mostly listening, but sometimes they're participating too, because I have lots to say. The Torah portion this week is Bahalot Tekacha, which is about lighting the lights, the eternal lights, and how we get to be a light to the nations. That's an interpretation we have of it. And then it's starting at 11, we have a service, which is more like this kind of a service than it is like a dry kind of a service. And it's posted online, so you don't have to worry about not having the words. But the details are online. I hope that it's easy to join the Zoom, and I hope to see you there. Donations were made to B'nai Zion Sisterhood Flower Fund, and Max, I hope you got a picture of the flowers because they're particularly lovely today. In loving memory of Oscar Manasseh by Ruth Lewis and family, and by in loving memory of Jean R. Muslow by Barbara and Edgar Neustadt. I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I'm going to ask everyone who's under the age of 12 to please come up and help me open the ark. Would you be so kind? While everybody else is turning to page 586 at the bottom of the page. We go from 586 And then we're going to jump to 591. That's a jumping point. But 586, please rise when the ark is open. Thank you, gentlemen. Look how many people we have under the age of 12 today.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We're going to continue on page 591 in the middle of the page and continue singing. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Every time you have an opportunity, you touch the Torah and then kiss. Touch the Torah and then kiss. Thank you. And then we walk backwards. When the ark is... Wait, come back. When the ark is closed, that's your job. Please be seated after it's closed. That's going to be hard. Push. Oh, good job. Nice. Wait, careful. Smoosh. Okay. Thank you. Gentlemen. Wait. Boom. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Now, this part of the service, we go forward and backward a little, and I apologize for that. We turn to page 597. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Included among them are the losses we've had in our military this year. We knew of 6 people. We have lost 124 police officers, including 7 new officers lost this week, and 9 canine officers, and I have lost my firefighters. I apologize. I don't know what happened to that part. And as we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death, and I would like to turn us to page 595, which is back a page. 595. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone and every life finds purpose. We continue on page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, and we remember Bobby Goodman, for whom we're still observing the Shloshim period. We think of congregants' parents who died within the past 11 months. We remember Carl Aaron, Carolyn Talbert, Marcia Katzenstein, Claire Maisel, and Bobby Jean Gray. And we remember those who died at this season in years past. Those for whom we've been observing yortzites this past week include Helen S. Atlas, Leroy Bailey, Eve Baskowitz, Louis Block Sr., Sadie Blumberg, Dr. Jacob M. Bodenheimer, Daniel Sinclair Bug, Leonard Burakoff, Janice Kahn, Erzie Nagy Deutsch, Jay Glazer, Gertrude Goldman, Richard Goulder, Ansel Harris, Marcia Hyman, Thomas Langford, Milton Levine, Oscar Manasseh, Yetta Libra Marcus, Helene Robbie Meyer, Jean Muslow, Dr. Lawrence Joseph Blanchard, and William Rosenberg. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for blessing. We continue with the Mourner's Kaddish, which is found on page 598. If it is your tradition to stand for the Kaddish, I ask you to do so now. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'l'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Please be seated. Sometimes Father's Day is a difficult day if your father has died, and I don't like to think about it during the Kaddish part. For those of you who are listening, Red River Radio, this Sunday at 1 o'clock, we are talking about miracles, but we're also talking a little bit about Father's Day. And we acknowledge that. We acknowledge that sometimes for some people these holidays are difficult. I would like to turn you to page 625. Apparently it was before Adam's time when I started that tradition of trying to sing a different melody of Adon Olam every single week and see if you could guess what I was singing. I hope that I was successful. Most of the time it's kind of hard to sing a melody with different words. It's like trying to, I don't know, use your right brain and your left brain at the same time, something like that. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yitzir nivra Le'ed nasa b'chefso kol Azai melech shemo nikra. I guess you guessed it, huh? Well, because the first day of summer is this week. It's officially on the 21st. And that song ties together, another way of tying together Jewish heritage, because that was Gershwin, Jewish guy, who wrote it. It was a black opera. Here's a really cool thing. If you hadn't heard this before, very cool. You know the song from that, everybody familiar with that Porgy and Bess? You familiar with Porgy and Bess? So you know the song that says, it ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things you are liable to hear in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. So you know what that melody is from? The one that says, it ain't necessarily so that the things you're liable to hear in the Bible are not necessarily so? It's the blessing for the Torah. Ha! It is a true story. How cool is that? Very cool. All right, so at least I taught you something today. There's a lot to think about in the world. I would love to know if you have special ways of celebrating Father's Day. I'm always excited to hear about things like that. I would love to know if you have special ways of celebrating Pride Month. I would love to hear about that. I hope everybody watches the service we did during the pandemic, because that was one of my favorite services of all time. And I hope that if you have ways of commemorating Juneteenth, you let me know what those ways are, other than just finding out that your trash is not being picked up on the right day or that you're not getting mail that day. I don't want you to think about that. I mean, if you can have a green bagel on St. Patrick's Day, then you can celebrate awesome things with our neighbors and our society, our family here. I think it's really important for us to be a family together. With that, I invite you to please rise for a closing benediction. I'm moving, Max. Help me bless each other. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you. Be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face always be lifted up to you. May God grant you peace, pride in the things that you do, happiness in being who you are, and Shabbat Shalom. And a couple extra minutes of nap time tonight, maybe. So no Oneg Shabbat tonight.